Hello friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome to the Dog and Duck Google Drive training video. This will be the first video of one of two, that is going to teach us what is available on the Google Drive as well as how to use the Google Drive. This first video is going to focus on what is available for you on the Google Drive. And then in the second video, we're going to cover some tips and tricks and how to use the drive. So starting out, we have our main folder here, Dog and Duck Family Pubs, and we have our four main subfolders: financial, human resources, operations, and training. We are going to start off right here with financial, and basically we're just going to go through each of the folders so that you know what is available, like I said, on the drive. So even if you're using the search function later, you know what you're searching for. So starting with financial, we have our business plans and budgets here. These have our business plans from previous years. We did not do ones this year because we were opening a new restaurant, but it will have the budget available for your store right in there. We have the EOD sheets for all of the restaurants right here. This is helpful if someone needs help in the evening, they're doing their EOD sheet. If someone's available by phone, they can call them and they're able to get right online and look at the exact same thing that the person in store is looking at. It's also helpful if we make any changes or updates as the EOD sheets. And then we have the prime cost sheets. These are the period to date prime cost sheets for obviously the past few years. And if we click on 2024, period 1 here, we can see for each store where we're at period to date for the year. So that's right there. And then if we go back to our main financial folder here, the final thing in this folder is the bonus program reference sheet. Back to Dog and Duck Family Pubs, and then now we are going to look at the human resources folder. Okay, so within this folder, there are many subfolders. First off, we have applications. This just has our paper application right here for printing, as well as the online. This is where the online applications live and their spreadsheets, the corresponding spreadsheets for each of those Google Forms. We also have the employee files folder, where each store has their own employee files folder that contains employee write-ups and that sort of thing. And then we have the incident report and write-up that everybody uses and can make copies of, as you'll see in the second video. And then store has their own individual workers' comp form because you have your own specific address and insurance number. Employee surveys, you will not see this on your end, but this is where the blank employee surveys live, as well as the feedback. This is where evaluation forms is where the blank evaluation forms live. Interviewing, within this folder, we have some generic crew job postings that we've used in the past for things like Indeed and Craigslist. And then we have a folder that has all of the job descriptions for the crew members, which is helpful when hiring for yourself and for the interviewee. And then just to keep them all together, this is also where all of the job descriptions for the different AORs, the general manager, even the support level AORs are all here together. Then we have the new hire paperwork folder that has the crew new hire paperwork. You won't have this shared with you, but the management new hire paperwork, and then also the link to the additional materials for orientation for your onboarding. All right, and then we have two files out here that aren't in any folders, and these are the health insurance tracker, which you'll use, your GM will use with Phil to track health insurance payments, and then also the available vacation days spreadsheet, which you will not be able to edit, but you'll be able to view. And you can look on here and see when the vacation will renew, which is your anniversary date. but you'll see how many days you have left, how many you've used, etc., etc. And that's the human resources folder. Okay, we go back to our dog and duck family pub. We're going to skip operations for a second and go down to trains. Operations is a big folder. All right, so training, this is my favorite folder. We just have 4 subfolders in here. First one down at the bottom, we have our training modules. This has all of the manager training modules. All right here, regular manager training modules, the calibrations for everything, and then also all of the calibration keys. And then we have same thing, AOR training, GM training, and there might be something like this, like the financial, this right here, because we're still working on it, you're not going to see it on your drive. It's not shared with you yet. So that is the training modules section. We have the printable training manuals, which you guys use all the time. Back of the house, progress report and kitchen manual. The front of the house, progress report and manuals. And same thing with the new manager. This is just a link to the new hire paperwork that was listed under the human resources section. Technically it doesn't need to be in there, but then we have the trainer section, which has some of our very unfortunately limited trainer resources, and then all of the tests and their answer keys for the back of the house, the front of the house, and the manager test, and as well as a link to the calibrations. And then that is all of the right. And last but certainly not least, we have the operations folder. In this folder, we have a reference section, a folder for your inspections and audits, a communication folder, and blank sheets. So let's start off with blank sheets. This contains all of the documents that you would print to use throughout the week in your restaurant. So things like your order guides, you're only going to see your restaurant. They'll all be right there. And the reason that we use the order guides here on the shared drive and we don't save them to your individual desktop is, like we talked about earlier, in case your computer breaks, but also when Andy needs to update the food order guide, he knows right where to come and get it and to make sure that it's the most current one that everyone's using. Allie knows where to update the liquor order guide. The supply order guide can be updated from here and so on. So that's why we use that. Like I said, you're only going to see your store there. Same for the checklists. You're going to see your store's manager checklists, kitchen checklists, bar checklists, all the checklists. And then we have the folder miscellaneous sheets and floor charts. Miscellaneous sheets is things like transfer sheets, line stock, prep list for your individual location. And then there's also a blank folder that has ones that you can pull from. There's a blank portion audit on here if you're wanting to do some of those, blank line stock, and so on. That is the miscellaneous sheets. You can put whatever ones you want into your individual folder, up to you for your restaurant. And then we have floor charts, and floor charts is exactly what you think it is. It has the floor chart for your restaurant. They have their table number test in there as well. And that way everyone's always using the same most up-to-date ones. That is the blank sheets print folder. And now if we go back to operations, the next folder is communication. This folder has all of our meeting notes. And right here at the top, we have our manager meeting notes. These have weekly updates from the past available on there so that you can search the information in the drive as well as in your email. Like how we talked about earlier, if I typed in cargo shorts into the search bar, it should bring up every time that we've spoken about cargo shorts in a meeting and a note was taken, which is convenient. So that's where all the weekly updates are going to be. Support team meetings, you're not going to see this folder, but that's where they would live. Each store will have its own manager meeting folder where you can put manager meeting notes if you like. Here we have the GM meeting folder. where we put all the notes from the GM meeting. And then down here we have the AM and AGM meeting notes for reference. So that's the manager meetings. And here we have front of the house directionals and meeting notes. This is just a place for your store that you can store directionals or any crew meeting notes that you have. The benefit to this is so you have a place that you can go back and review them, but also, like we said, when you use that search bar, if you talked about something specific in a meeting that you'd like to review, you can search it up here and it will take you directly to whichever meeting that was. You don't have to rack your brain and try and figure it out. It'll take you right there. So that would be the benefit of doing that. It is not required that you upload all of your directionals into there, and then same for the back of the house. That is the communication tab. If we go back to operations, we have our inspections and audits area. And this is where Alex will upload past inspections so that you can review them at your leisure. And then finally, the reference folder. So a lot of stuff on here. First off, each store has their own reference folder that they can put specific things that they've created. You don't want to clutter up the rest of the drive with different little aids and things that you want to post around your restaurant. You can keep right in there. And then we have a general reference, which has things like a sports channel guide, creating a new item from scratch in Upserve. So not using the pre-made specials if something were to ever happen and they've disappeared on you. LDA social picture taking recommendations, thing on how to filter your emails. So how to filter out in Gmail and make all the emails you don't want to see go away. Guide for our employee referral program, poster for DuckBucks, and so on and so forth in there. So just kind of some things that don't fit into other categories. And then within the front of the house reference, you are going to find, this is going to be bar and server, things that are a little more specific to them, like detailed instructions for cleaning the tea machine, some different salad reference sheets of the wing flavor guide that gives the detailed descriptions of all of the wing flavors. There are some DHEC training aids, a lot of the bar stuff. All of the menu builds are going to be in here. So reference is where you're going to find a lot of the one-off stuff. It's great information. We want to have it on here, but it's not something that you're going to use every single day or every single week. And then the back of the house reference is going to have some of our past recipes, again, some DHEC posters and documents, some food preparation procedures. For example, Friday night ribs has the diagram for the chef's salad, St. Patrick's Day food instructions, fried jalapenos, and so on. Portion control and sauce guides has all the different portion references, as well as the wing sauce color guides and dry rub color guide. And down here in back of the house cleaning and equipment maintenance, we have the dish machine cleaning guide. The last thing that I want to say is, I know at least for me, some of my initial confusion with the drive came from how it looks when I first would log in or when I would search something. When you first log in and you see all these random files, why are those there to start off with? And it's because Google is trying to do its thing and make your life easier and show you things that it thinks is the most relevant to you. So it could be something that you've been working on a lot recently, or something that somebody else recently edited that would apply to you, or something like that. And so that's why it shows up with all that stuff in the beginning. Now, when we search something, is going to with a whole bunch of folders and files. And I used to get really confused because, for example, it's showing me this folder, training modules, then it's also showing me all these files that should be within this folder, and they are. It's just showing me them separately, give me the options, because it thinks that is what's easiest for me. And I can see that because it's showing me right here that these are nestled within that training folder. So it's just trying to do its Google thing, just like it does on google.com, and give you any options that might pertain to what it is that you're talking about. It's usually going to show title first. So if it has whatever the search term you used in the title, that's going to pop up first. And then once it gets through the title, then it's going to start with training being somewhere in the document. And then it's going to off of things like the last time you opened it or the last time somebody modified it, and so on and so forth, how many times it's mentioned. Thank you for watching this video on Dog and Duck Google Drive training. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.